Everyone can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you and we can see your presentation.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Also try to keep it short. Thank you for having us here. My name is Jasper Snijders from Aurea Imaging. We're a company from the Netherlands, from Europe. We could be known from all our efforts in the orchard industries regarding drones. Growers can order and let us analyze blossom and vigor maps. We are already active there in 4 continents, also in the USA, in Washington State, and in New York State. But the last 2 years, we've been working on something new, also a device that can be mounted on top of the tractor, because there we can see where you can see that growers can passively collect their data through the orchard, and I would like to present some things about that today. So yeah, unlocking the potential of every tree. That's the whole idea there. Data maps on a tree level, because every tree counts in the orchard. And there we would like to focus as Aurea on the precision thinning and the growth regulation, because that are really the tasks in a growing season often already, where a grower can do something with the data and make an impact within a year. So there could be a variation in the orchard with the blossom because of anything. It could be alternate bearing, and by mapping that and giving trees that need it a thinning agent or a thinning application and others not, there you could make a difference and have a more equal, a better yield, and also a better crop at the end of the season. So if we look at the whole phase, the whole season, it starts with mapping a tree. You should know where a tree is, as you mentioned, Terence. Georeference trees there are very important, so that's also where we focus on as Aurea. The blossom maps, the vigor, fruit load, and then also additional a senescence application. Trees that turn earlier in their leaf in their autumn color. It could be a sign of a weaker tree, and by mapping that and giving those trees, for example, a nutrient boost the season later in the spring, they could overgrow that. Um, that's also another application that we use, or a data map. So really the applications where we focus on with Aurea are the sprayers. So we collaborate there well with Munkhoff or HSS. I think well known also in your areas. Um, that are sprayers that are already capable of doing the tree level thinning, spraying. That enables it to work with those tree by tree data, and also root pruning. It's typical here in northwestern Europe, um, but I hear some growers in the USA are also interested in that, or at least the whole idea of growth regulation, like mapping tree vigor. There are growth differences in one orchard, in the same block, the same variety, um, and doing something there with the data. Yeah, so talking about the tree scout, I would like to show a video. It's less than 1 minute. Not sure if you hear the sound. Yeah, so that is the Tree Scout. It is commercially available from now, from this year. The first batches will be installed before the spring here in northwestern Europe. to collect the tree positions and also the blossom maps. Definitely, we have to learn things there, and we will learn things there. And then the idea is in the summer to be in the USA for some demonstrations on how it all works. So how does it work? Well, you saw it in the video. The Tree Scout, it's a piece of hardware. It will be installed on top of a tractor, because there the whole idea is that the grower passively collects data. He can do his daily tasks and operations, like if it's mowing the grass or doing the weeds, doing his daily tasks. Every time a grower drives through his own orchard, there's an opportunity to collect data. Um, and then, of course, yeah, the blossom, the vigor, the fruit count, that are the applications or the maps that really count. So the farmer drives with the tree scout through the orchard. There's onboard processing, so it's not only the camera, but there's a computer on it, on top of it, and also RTK GPS is required on top of the tractor. It's really because we want to reach the highest level of detail with our drone products. We do everything with RTK precision because we see that that is the base of tree by tree applications, and that's where we want to build up further on. Um, and also, the system itself, it comes with isobus, the isobus connector, um, because then it directly works on different brands, tractor brands like the Kubota, the New Holland, all the new Fendt. They all have the isobus communication system. And after that, when the data is processed, a prescription map is needed. You need to go from a blossom or a vigor map to a task map or a prescription map. I will show something about that later. And that is executed by the machine. So here are the specifications for this year. Um, there are three products that come with the Tree Scout, and that is the tree positioning, the blossom, the vigor, and the fruit count. And there, here we see tree positioning not as a real product because that is the base. That's where it all starts with. That is needed to collect all the other data. Cloud integration, it goes over 4G, over internet. That is also in the Tree Scout itself. And with that, we enable to have the edge processing, and to have very quick the data maps. One of the bottlenecks in our drone based solutions is that we are shipping a lot of data from the SD card on the drone to the cloud, where we are dependent on internet connections on farms, and shipping loads of data. With the Tree Scout, we solved a lot of those issues because we are processing the data already on board, so we're not shipping so much data anymore with the cloud. And indeed, the isobus integration that I mentioned. Um, yeah, onboard analysis, that is the real-time solution. Here you see a little video of it. The biggest challenge we had this year is uh, um, how to enable this in like a cloud solution. Uh, we are very good in detecting all this stuff, but here if you see all the dots, these are our blossoms, and then a tree that comes in the blue box. Where do you assign a red dot to a tree? Is it left or right? Those decisions, and also to do that very quickly in the cloud for 15,000 trees in an orchard. That is where we worked very hard on, and what is live, what is done now. To give a bit of an idea of what financial benefits could be for growers, we do as Aurea a lot of validations with our data maps, with the Blossom and the Vigor maps. This is all based on drone products, but if you look here on the right image, you see clearly some differences. It's one moment in time. It's the blossom period, but clearly some trees don't have so much flowers. Well, that is a problem itself because of for the alternate bearing or anything. But by breaking that trend, there are different solutions. So by first mapping this and then creating the task map, every tree has its own value, and that the grower then decides to spray from a specific threshold certain amounts or certain trees yes and other trees no. Um, the financial benefit here, especially in this orchards, was huge. Definitely because of the difference in the trees. Um, but here, yeah, you can show that by simply not spraying a tree, by not thinning it, because we don't see a lot here, but they have some flowers and that can become fruits with the right size. That is here where the financial benefit comes from. So simply by not spraying, um, they get the perfect condition in the orchard and a more equal, homogeneous crop. This is then how that looks like in a slow mo in practice. Here on the left, you see a tree with less flowers, and the Munkhoff sprayer here does not turn on. And after that, it turns on. It performs the thinning on it, um, based on a blossom map. That is also where we try to work very hard on as Aurea, integrations with the companies that do the executions. Like we're very good in creating those blossom maps and those vigor maps, but a grower needs to be able to very quickly create a task map, make a decision, go to a sprayer, and perform the maps. And that's where we are working very hard on. Um, that is also what I want to show as one of our latest developments. I believe you can see this, but this is our cloud platform. The grower here, what you see is you see here a blossom map with a task map generator. So basically what you see here is the blossom map, different colors. Green indicates more flowers on a tree and red indicates less flowers. So there is a variation in this orchard. You can already see it. The spot here on the right, it has a higher blossom density. But as a grower to do something with it, with this, he has to make his own decision. There are growers, if I drag the slider here to the right, you will see that I'm going to move the threshold. So with this, we enable it for the grower to make his own decision. There is a grower that could say, okay, from this point, I know that now I am going to spray just 25% on the trees, but there are the trees with more flower clusters. So that's correct. Um, and I can save on inputs in the tank. Uh, and here is where the creativity of the grower and with different models come into play, because there are growers, they say, okay, I definitely don't want to do hand thinning this year, because so I put the threshold a bit more to the left. There are others, they say, okay, I want to wait for the setting, and maybe later on I will come back with the Brevis application, but for the first thinning applications, I will put the slider a bit more to the right. Be then I will spray less trees, but the trees with more flower clusters there. So with this, we hope to enable it for the growers to yeah, to play with the data and to get the perfect conditions for choosing and for working with the data. Um, that's what I wanted to share. Um, Thanks for this, Terence.